Welcome. In front of me is a OnePlus Nord 6, and today I will show you how we can record screen on this device. So, to get started, you'll want to swipe down from the top of your screen. Now make sure you do it from the right side, as that's where we have our toggles. On the left side we have our notifications. And somewhere in here you should be able to find your screen recording. For me it is on the second page, you can see it right over here. But if you can't find it, you will be able to then add it by clicking right here on this pencil. And then click on the plus. And from here, find your screen recorder. Once you do, you just click on it. It gets automatically added. And from there, you can click on done. And it stays added. So anyway, once you have it in here, first time around, I recommend holding it and then selecting more settings, as this will take you to the settings where you can change one of the more important things, which is the god-awful definition, which is set to 720p like it's 2000s. We're going to be moving to high. It's still, I would say, kind of lacking for current age, but it's the best we can do right here, which is 1080p, 16 megabits. Additionally, we also have frame rate, and we have a dynamic one right here. So it goes up to a weird 165 frames per second, assuming there is a content that is running at this frame rate. Typically, you want to be recording at this, as usually you don't get to run anything at this frame rate, really. Maybe your home screen or settings and stuff like that, but in any case, it's an option to you right here if you want, but personally I will be sticking with 60 because 60 is just more versatile. It's if you're planning to record something like this, like a screen of your phone, and upload it to any kind of say social media platforms like YouTube or anything along those lines, the frame rate that you record at doesn't really matter if it's above 60. So anything above 60 gets brought down back down to 60, so there is literally no benefit in it. So that is going to be better, and by preventing the device from needing to record at something like 165 frames and share that 16 megabit bandwidth with insane refresh rate, you potentially have a bit better image quality for this, as regardless of your frame rate, the bitrate stays the same, which means that every single frame that the phone records would have about a third of the time to bring up that quality of the screen. And I don't know if I will be able to show this, but I will try to show you how this looks like at the most awful kind of example. So I'm going to select to 1080p but 1 megabit. This should show us how this will look like. So anyway, let's close this up. Actually, before we do, let's quickly check other things. So we have some indicators for recording, auto pause, show touches on the screen, which is where you were actually interacting with the display, as I saw my transparent gray dot. And we also have the sound recording, although this one will show up later on once we click on this while using the app. So you can see we can now choose it here. So you can select what kind of sound will be recorded. You can record both system and mic, but if you're planning to do so, I would recommend using headphones. A reason for that is the way screen recorder records sound is system sound gets recorded internally, and then it gets played through the speaker after it's been already recorded, at which point microphone could pick it up the second time, potentially maybe creating this unwanted echo effect. So that's why using headphones would be a good option. Anyway, let's start recording. So this is going to try to show you the limitations of like low bit rate. And anyway, let's also open up some applications just to showcase this. So we have things like Netflix right here. I'm going to start off with this one just because I can, and just because it comes pre-installed with this device, which gives me opportunity to completely crap on this crap. So you can see I'm not signed in. There was no pop-up. This application has been opened right now the first time. There is no pop-up to allow the application to do anything. It just decides to tell you or show you this and say you're not going to be recording this. Which, as far as I know, you bought this device. It's yours. You own it. So piece of shit application like this shouldn't have a say what you can do on your own device. I'll be showing you what you can do to kind of do the Uno reverse card of this and be able to record shows like this or movies and applications such as Netflix. Anyway, once you're done recording, you can just click right here and then on the square, and this will save your screen recording. Now, once it's saved, you can find it in your Photos application, and I think we have two different ones right here. So we have Photos, yeah, we have the OnePlus Photos, and we also have the Google Photos. I'm going to use the OnePlus one. Now, you can see in OnePlus's version, we do have screen recording located in the main tab, but if we go into albums, and here we should have screenshots and videos, and both of them contain screen recordings. Now in screenshots, I think that will be the better place to look for your screen recordings, as here you can classify what kind of content you want to see in this album, like only videos or only photos, which automatically, as you can see, hides only the other screenshots that were taken, which leaves you with all the screen recordings. Anyway, so from here we can just click on it to play it, and I don't know if you can see this, but this is the effect of a low bit rate. I think it's clearly visible. You can see lines right here. So this is what you get with low bit rate. This, like, what is this? So going back to what I was saying, when it comes down to low bit rate, when you have that higher refresh rate, you're basically sacrificing the bit rate, right? So you have nearly triple higher refresh rate from 60 to 165, and you still get only 16 megabits per second at 1080p, and the phone is recording it at 165 frames and sharing that bitrate, and later on, once you upload this, technically you now need to count that the bitrate per second, so 16 megabits per second. If you record at 165 frames and you're only going to be using 60, so you know, a third of those frames nearly gets cut away from your video. Therefore, also the bitrate, you can classify it as being cut a third of the way. So you're left with a much lower bitrate at 1080p, which could start looking kind of like this. Now this is, like I said, one megabit. So this is a very excessive kind of showcase right here, and you can see how it affects it. Everything in motion gets very weird. I'm zooming in because potentially on a camera, when you're viewing this might not be as visible, but to the eye, this is very noticeable. Like, we have literal, like, weird ghosting of another S that was left here, smudging everywhere, which I can see on my monitor from what the camera shows. A lot of the blurriness isn't visible on the camera, but there's a lot of like weird smudginess, like it's like you spilled water on it and the ink is just kind of dissolving almost. So that's kind of what you get. And this is very apparent, specifically in motion. I don't know, also, is this visible? It is. So you can see literal flickering of the display right here. This is from that bitrate. It's so low that the phone is struggling to maintain quality of the screen, like what's on it on the recording. And anyway, what you can see right here is Netflix being opened fully, apparently. And it's completely blocking your screen recording. And it's doing that to protect the privacy and security of the user. Boy, oh boy, do you feel secure and safe when Netflix does this, because I sure shit don't. Now, to be fair, this option in itself is designed for this purpose, and it's used by banks, for instance, or bank applications to be more precise. Now, they use this to protect you. And if you ever would have some kind of malware on your device that would use screenshots or screen recordings to try to figure out what kind of pins or passwords you use to access your bank, and then just, you know, share it to them, send it to themselves to log in on their own devices with your credentials, can you imagine how that would be very detrimental to security? So banks do block it, so any kind of malware like this just straight up can't see anything that is visible in the display once the said application is opened. Now, when it comes down to Netflix and other streaming platforms like, I don't know, Apple TV, HBO, and Paramount, and all that crap, they all do it to basically stop piracy. Now, if you're paying them, it's not your goddamn job to protect some corporate cocks right there from piracy. It's not. You don't get paid for that, and even more, you pay them. So, I'm not here advocating for you basically paying for a device that is doing slave work for some giga corporation that doesn't reward you with it, and giving you content isn't a reward. You paid for that piece of shit. So I'll be showing you how we can actually record it. Now, we won't be using their applications because we can't really change that. But what we can do is change where we view the content from. So I will say this right now before we go any further. If you're paying for the content, this is going to be fine. Capturing that content is also potentially fine if you're not planning to share it. And if you're planning to share it, screenshots are going to be fine. Video recordings of shows and movies, if they're, I believe, below 30 seconds, are going to be fine. Basically falling under fair use in this case. So strictly under fair use, they're going to be fine. Anything that is longer will automatically be considered as piracy. So sharing it, basically distributing copyrighted content in this case, which falls under piracy, but under 30 seconds, I believe. You do need to check the time exactly because I don't remember if 30 seconds is the accurate number there. But if it falls under fair use, it's not piracy. And if you're paying for this, obviously viewing it is fine from outside of it, as you are already paying for it. So typically viewing content even outside of application, if you don't pay for the content, would be also considered as piracy. So just be warned of that. In any case, like I said, it's completely fine to capture this crap. An application just stopping you automatically because they don't want people to completely capture and then share their copyrighted content. You know what? Just because pirates exist, you shouldn't be treated as one because you want to, I don't know, maybe capture a small little clip of a show that you found a funny moment that you want to share with your friends. It's completely fine. And they're just stopping you because, oh, how dare you, you filthy pirate. So anyway, we're going to be showing you how to actually do this correctly in this case. So I'm going to show you exactly a website where to go to view this content. I'm going to show you how to find these websites with some examples, but I don't know if they work. I haven't checked it. So what we can do is search for something, for instance, like pstream.mov alternatives. So this used to be a site that I used to show, but that site no longer is operational, potentially maybe because I was showing it. I don't know. But because it no longer exists, any kind of video that I will record in the future might not be relevant because the content that will show you exactly where to go would basically get taken down and wouldn't have any value in this case. But if I show you how to find this content yourself, well, then this is kind of timeless. It's, teach a man to fish kind of approach right here. Now you're going to be primarily looking for the Reddit right here because, let's be honest, that's where all the good info is, at least when it comes into Google search. And you can see we have some links right here that you can go to view different kind of contents. These sites provide content from every streaming platform and don't need an account, don't need a subscription or anything. That's why you would potentially need to pay for this content already to the, for instance, I don't know, Netflix, to view something like that on a Netflix show on one of these sites, as otherwise this would be considered piracy. In any case, from here you can view any of these sites, and depending on how you search for these, so you could search for something like free alternatives to Netflix, and again, look for specifically Reddits. You can find different links to different sites. One of them even tracks all of these kind of different domains with all of its like backup subdomains. So it's pretty nice. There is dozens actually in there. And completely disregard AI overview, let's be honest. And for simplicity, I would recommend using Google for this as a search. because I know that Google actually gives you this at the very top, which isn't the case for other search engines, maybe something like Yandex, which I tested, which didn't really want to give me what I was looking for. So heads up. But anyway, because this, whatever you would find in here and open up any kind of content would be running through a browser. Browser isn't affected by screenshots and screen recording, so I can capture it no matter, unlike if I were to open up this and try to do the same thing. So in browser, regardless of what the content is played on it, browser doesn't block it, and it's an application's choice to do this. So anyway, if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.